Hi friends, I am Dr. Jason Thomas, working as the Dean of Tejas Engineering College, Kerala, India. I have developed a lookup table by which musical scales and chords can be very easily generated. This is the lookup table which I have developed for generating musical scales and the respective chords. In this table there are 4 rows and 8 columns. Top row corresponds to the number of sharps in the scale. Second row corresponds to the major scales. Third row corresponds to the minor scales. Fourth row corresponds to the number of flats in the scale. Here this is the order of sharps and this is the order of flats in the scale. From this table, along any column we can generate 4 musical scales and the respective chords. Example, consider the third column in this table. From this third column we can generate E flat major, E major, C sharp minor and C minor scales. E flat major scale can be obtained by taking the number of flats in that column, which is 3, and the flats are B, E and A. That is, in E flat major, B, E and A are flats. E major scale can be obtained by taking the number of sharps here. That is, since this is flat, take the number of sharps, which is 4, and the sharps are F, C, G and D. In the case of C sharp minor scale, since this is sharp, take the number of sharps in that column, which is 4, and the sharps are F, C, G and D in the case of C sharp minor scale. In the case of C minor scale, since this is sharp, take the number of flats in this column, which is 3, and the flats are B, E and A. That is, in C minor scale, B, E and A are flats. This rule can be extended to every columns in this lookup table. Once we have the scale, the respective chord can be obtained by taking the first, third and the fifth note in that scale. Now let us see how the lookup table is developed. As a first step, simply write C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C and mark it as major scales. In the second step, write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A just below the first row and mark it as minor scales. Third step is to assign the number of sharps and flats. The number of sharps can be obtained by putting 0 to C, which is then followed by even numbers 2, 4, 6, which is then followed by odd numbers 1, 3, 5 and 7. Now the number of flats row can be easily obtained by simply reversing the number of sharps, that is 0, 2, 4, 6, 1, etc. So in this manner we can obtain the number of sharps and number of flats rows. Fourth step is the determination of order of sharps and order of flats. Now in the case of order of sharps, F is always the first sharp. Then count every fourth note, we will get the order of sharps. That is, first F is then followed by the fourth note, that is first 2, 3, 4. Is C, repeating 1, 2, 3, 4. Is G, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is D, and we will get the order of sharps. Now, the order of flats can be obtained by simply reversing the order of sharps, which is B, E, A, D, G, etc. Fourth step is assigning sharps and flats to the major and minor scales row. So, in the case of major scales row, put flats corresponding to 0 to 5 sharps. That is, here corresponding to 0 it is B, C flat, then 1 it is flat, then 2 it is flat, then 3 it is flat, then 4 it is flat, and 5 it is flat, whereas 6 and 7 are sharps. Along the minor scales, put 0 to 4 as sharps. That is, this is sharp, then 1 it is sharp, 2 it is sharp, 3 it is sharp, and 4 it is sharp. Then 5 to 7 as flats. This is flat, 6 is flat, then flat. Now in this manner we can develop the lookup table. Now this is the final lookup table. This is the final lookup table. So from this lookup table, at a glance we can generate musical scales and the respective chords. Suppose we want to generate D major scale from this lookup table. So this is the pattern of D scales. Now for D major scale corresponding to the D major row, take the D cell. Since here it is flat, count the number of sharps, which is 2, and the sharps are F and C. That is, in D major scale, F and C are sharps. Now the D major chord can be obtained by taking the first, third and fifth notes in the scale. That is, the D major chord constitute D, F sharp and A. So this can be extended to any scales and respective chords. Now suppose we want to generate G minor scale. Now in the minor scales row, this is the G cell, and since here it is sharp, take the number of flats here, which is 2. This is the pattern of G scale, and since here it is 2 flats and the flats are B and G, that is, in the case of G minor scale, B and E are flats. B and E are flats. Now the G minor chord can be obtained by taking the first, third and fifth notes. That is, G, B flat and D constitute the G minor chord. Suppose we want to generate F sharp minor scale. This is the F scale pattern. Now in the minor scales row, this is the F sharp cell. Since this is sharp, count the number of sharps, which is 3. That is, in F sharp minor scale, 3 sharps, F, C and G are sharps. That is F sharp, then C sharp and G
sharp. Now the F sharp minor chord can be obtained by taking the first, third and fifth, that is F sharp, A, C sharp constitute the F sharp minor chord. So this can be extended to every notes and chords. Here is my contact details. My name is Dr. Gilson Thomas and my Gmail ID is gylsonThomas@gmail.com is my email ID. Thank you so much.